It's Zenzi, payroll name Deb Helfrich. There's Zanzi. She's exhausted. She got some sleep. Surrounded by 3 police officers in this lovely place that I have to call Guantanamo Grove. Alleged supposed crime. It's illegal to sleep in my own property vehicle in a perfectly legal parking space. All I'm doing is generating a bit of carbon dioxide. Yes, of hypocrisy. Anyway, here's my intellectual property. I'm working on pitching my VC, whose bachelor is electrical engineering, MFA, film production. The Intercation Empire! Hashtag breaking brilliant. Or as those men made meth, this woman wakes wisdom. I don't want to shout. Mama says knock you out. Don't call it a comeback. I'm Fresh Prince from scratch. Now, the Will and Jada Smith Family Foundation has the right of first refusal on hashtag breaking brilliant. But somebody can find hashtag free will gathering. If you got me. The Will. He's my second. Willard Carroll Smith II is my second brother from a TV mother. First, of course, is Lenny Kravitz. Why are you so anti-racist? Lenny Kravitz's mama said. 1977, Roxy Roker taught me all humans. We all human. We all African ancestrally. Now, Will Smith's mama is my Carnegie Mellon co-alum. So this is a lot of deepness going on. Biggest scientific question remained unanswered for 2,500 years of the Western whiteness thought tradition. What's consciousness? How does it work? Well, in the current scientific zeitgeist of determinism, I can explain to you a valid philosophical hypothesis of bio-electromagnetism, which is a unifying theory of human energy, potential, and well-being, alongside sorting the hard problem of consciousness into an easy pivot. Now, if you are the human, despite your age, your gender, your homelessness, if you're not human, you want to really solve consciousness, they're going to insist the accurate definition of consciousness belongs to humanity, not to some insanely wealthy industrialist. Corporatist. Corporations, plantation capitalism, on the corporate structure is going to self-extinct our species in approximately 30 years. We need some new thinking. My proprietary brand of $1 billion worth of life-centric thinking. That's thrown in with the philosophical hypothesis of bioelectromagnetism, which sorts the hard problem of consciousness into an easy pivot and gives us an entirely integrated body, mind, and soul poetic theory, philosophy of everything that's conscious. Now, in philosophy of physics, there's 4 forces. Electromagnetism, gravity, the strong and the weak nuclear forces. This month, well, July, August is 2 months. Scientific American, there's a article, Gravity versus Magnetism. Hello? Steven Weinberg's Nobel Prize on gravity is due to electromagnetism, and somebody else. Weak. So you basically, right now, they're just trying to figure out how the strong nuclear force work. That's keeping the neutrons and protons together. It's not charged, it's the electrons are the charge. So why do the neutrons and the protons stick together strongly in the nucleus? Physics don't know that. Physics is also asking, why the universe expanding? I got valid hypotheses on that. Part of advanced bio-electromagnetism. But, the scientific view, and quantum physics, and the manifest view, which is the view that we all see reality and can talk about it reliably, there's 5 forces. Mechanical, chemical, electrical, magnetic, 5th force. Bio-electromagnetism. Now the dash is there because it's a philosophical hypothesis. It's a theory that is the gold standard of scientific falsibilities. More bleeding edge science. Plants are conscious. Paco Calva, Plantis Sapiens author, runner of the Minimal Intelligence Lab in Murcia, Spain. Plants are conscious. Got a lot of ways to look at my work. She Einstein of consciousness. She's Sherlock of human functioning. She's Socrates of evolutionary logic plus love intertwined. She's Chappelle. Hashtag Socratic improv. But most closely, I think, I'm the she Darwin of life-centric thinking and the pleasure principle of evolutionary logic. Adding on to Uncle Charlie. I call Einstein Uncle Albie, and I got my Carnegie and my Mellons, they're my Uncle Andy's. I am running everything I say, all of my grandiosity, through the humans who empowered and enabled me as the proverbial steelworker's daughter to solve what the money matters most masculinity of stuff-centric thinking couldn't. Hashtag breaking brilliant. Now, hashtag free will gathering, that's the prequel on how we get. How does a homeless human, it's been 3 years, 3 months, 33, Scottie Pippen of thinking, we're just not going after, rock stars and movie stars, basketball stars. Scottie's the GOAT, by the way. And you will. But you know who else thinks Scottie's the GOAT? MJ. So if I'm throwing my vote with MJ, okay. Oh, and hey, you know what? There's only one name for the weight class I got up to. Shaquille O'Neal. And Sir Charles, right after he retired, he blew up like a beach ball. Kenny Smith lobbing him, I think, fried mozzarella sticks to the commercial breaks. Love me some basketball. I'm playing basketball. Without a basketball, right? Curtis Blow. Hip-hop also in my genre. This is hashtag Chappelle Challenge. Imagine getting to talk to Q-Tip. To Abstract. The mind, but the voice, his voice is looks intelligence to me. I'm getting jiggy with it, ain't I? 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. So, Charles Darwin was an independent intellectual. That's why he was able to take all of these things in silos. People noticed all these sort of, curious coincidences about all life seeming to be able to fit together, tiny little pieces. And he put the whole puzzle together. I'm just putting the whole puzzle together. I haven't had access to not only these men's scientific theories and their intellectual gifts to humanity, but also hundreds of years, in all cases. There's 5 men whose work I'm really seriously just finding the blind spot in. It's very humble. It's very doable as a Carnegie Mellon degree philosopher. So I'm reuniting the Cartesian split. Descartes got that wrong. I'm explaining to you that gravity is a weak force, so we're gonna, debunk Newton a little bit. Debunk, put down one more bunk, put what goes on top. What's a stronger force than gravity? We think it's strong. It's like, keeping a whole solar systems and galaxies and Milky Ways, and gravity gotta be hella strong, right? Weak force. And gotta fix Freud. Turns out I'm the large redheaded girl growing up to get a Sigmund Freud vagina envy. Einstein, I got a big problem with his fiat announcement that there was no ether. Can I have some data, some premises, some arguments? He didn't do that. He just didn't want it. Well, you got to revisit the ether. Explains why the universe is expanding, how it's done, and how, as an outlier, outsider philosopher, independent thinker, unbossed, unbounded by boxed-in thinking, and unborrowing any assertions from anyone that I couldn't do my own logic to validate. I am autistic AF. My savant skill is philosophical validity. I take scientific data and we agree on the data. And I come up, but the data says something. It implies, it emerges, the picture, it's different for me. What the men think it isn't. Let me do some Darwining in order to save our species from self-extincting in approximately 30 years. Things are that bad. You don't have the mental fitness to hold how bad things are in your brain. As I'm explaining to you, I got a very large systems oriented. I was a payroll software consultant off that Carnegie Mellon degree. The IRS was my client. 50 states of tax rate, minus the 5 that don't have income taxes. But we still had to pay them you don't get it. I just had somebody just said again yesterday, everyone's saying, only thing guaranteed is taxes and death. No, I see things contrarily. I always find the blind spots. Y'all, you don't pay taxes if you don't earn any money. It's almost 4 years of being destitute in the U.S. of hypocrisy. Not only is this a story, but it is a hashtag breaking brilliant, entercation empire. Give me a Netflix streaming deal. To be the redheaded stepchild of hashtag Dave Chappelle's incredible way with stand-up philosophy. It's not fan, it's not stalking. It's when I watch Sticks and Stones, I said, that output resembles what's going on in my own brain. That's how I share all my intellectual property. I had to make my own modalities. I had to do all this myself. There's never been there's about 5 different ways I could go with that. But I don't want to let you go. I'm traumatized. The only person I could talk to that can keep up with me is me. That's not okay. I am very serious about the impact I can have. It is because as a trained philosopher who did, payroll software consulting, I am a global level thinking, a species level thinker. And I'm just philosophy is synthesis. Hegel, thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Your all's expertise is down in too many silos nobody's quite seeing. Hey, wait, whoa. If we talk through this bioelectromagnetism stuff, if we do some life-centric thinking, we know what consciousness is, and that belongs to all 8 billion of us. So while we got your attention to explain consciousness, to explain how to optimize your own body, mind, and soul, so you could be the human you want, regardless of these horrific, inhumane systems of dehumanization, I'm going to change some things. Invest in your own mental fitness by helping me stay alive. And we'll save the species from self-extincting in approximately 30 years. We're going to do global thought experiments. We got to actually do this. We got to just not believe that corporations are going to solve it. Just not believe like government, committees and things that have answers. They don't, and they're just arguing. We have that data. Let me come in. Give us a global hive mind level, a species level thinking. We are all African ancestrally. What Darwin did for biology, I'm going to do for mind. Unite us all. See the evolution of it. See where we're at. See how things are really at the precipice of self-extincting. The pinnacle of evolution so far. We should be the wise stewards of all life on Earth. How did we end up trashing a planet? Hashtag Wellbeing Philosophy, which is soon to be named like a stadium, Willbeing Philosophy, soon as that incredibly intelligent, incredibly charismatic, and what I'm concerned with, the creative, comedic, fierce love for the species. Will, Money, Jada, these are my people. I'm gonna let love rule.